What is up, guys? Flossy Missiles here. In today's video, we're going to start off by taking apart this stock seat that came in the Honda Civic, and we're going to try to put this bride seat in there that came out of one of my Miatas. So should work out pretty good. Also, I got a steering wheel for this thing, NRG deep dish to replace this broken old thing right here. We'll try to get a spreader bar in it today, and after all that stuff's done, then the car is basically ready to go. Like, as far as it being legal to drive, it should be legal to drive on the track at that point. I'm still gonna go ahead and do some extra little things that I want to get done to it, but I can take it as is, so we're good. Starting by taking apart this seat so I can get to these frame rails. As soon as I get these frame rails off, I should be able to put my bucket seat on there and see where everything lines up, modify them, and then weld them all together. So I just bolted in those frame rails and I have them all the way pushed back. So we're gonna grab this bucket seat and throw it in there and see if it lines up. Okay, it's not even close to lining up. It's much too narrow. It's narrow on both sides by probably 3 inches on both sides, so 6 inches total. It's sitting in between the rails. So I'm gonna try to do some stuff. I think I can bend this over, this tab over right here. Maybe run a stringer across the front, but we'll figure it out. So I just removed a bunch of metal from the brackets. As you can see, they're all cleaned up now. I hit them with a grinder, but there's all the metal I removed off them, all these little tabs and random little doodads that keep you safe. But now I got to figure out how I'm going to do the crossbars on it, or whatever you're going to call them, to mount my seat. So I got to go find some random metal I have laying around or something, and start measuring. Okay, the Miata brackets are cut off, and my plan is just to take these and flip them around the other way. So I gotta take the bolts out on all 4 corners and flip them out, and I gotta weld prep them, and hopefully everything lines up good. All right, call it luck, but I flipped those brackets around and this thing sits on the rails perfectly now. So now I just gotta mark up where I want it to sit, how close I want to be to the steering wheel. I'm switching to this deep dish steering wheel too, so I gotta take that in consideration. And then I'll fully weld this in place and it'll just be permanently mounted in a fixed position. But man, it lines up perfect now. Oh. This feels just about right. I can put the clutch in all the way without my leg being fully extended. Shifter feels good, location, steering wheel feels good. I feel like I'm at the right height. Huh. So yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna weld it in at. So the old brackets that the previous owner did for this Miata seat were kind of ghetto, and the welds on them aren't the greatest, but it's a demo cross car, so not really too worried about it. Just gonna throw some welds over those welds, and we'll be good to go. And I get Hot Boy street cred because I'm using a Bride Lomax. Okay, so now with my seating situation taken care of, we're gonna work on the spreader bar. So the bar is gonna go right where that little square is at right there, all the way across to over here, so if I get hit in the sides, my car doesn't just crumble like a tin can, which probably still will anyways. But I got to make some tear-off plates, which are like basically just a piece of sheet metal, but thicker. That's going to go right where the tube is going to mount to. This is 120 wall. Dane gave me this piece right here, so shout out to Dane, thank you so much. Just trying to keep me safe. But yeah, I'm going to cut that to 54¼ inches and make those plates, grind it down, and weld it into place. And then I'll have a place to mount my harness for my seatbelt also, so it works out. is all welded into place. Came out pretty good. It's really solid. It's like super solid. I mean, obviously by shaking it, you can't tell, but it just shakes the whole car. I went ahead and I had some Crow harnesses from an old Miata project. These things are weathered, but they're still strong, and they're definitely stronger than normal seat belts. I went ahead and hooked those up. I put one bolt in where the old seatbelt used to mount, and then one in going into the old seat bracket. So yeah, I'm all safe as far as the harnesses go and the bar. So next thing I'm gonna be working on is a front bumper. This is a piece of 4x4 tubing I had left over from the ramp truck, and I think what I'm gonna do is cut it down to 66 inches and mount it to the front, because the front bumper is pretty good, but this car is so low and I'm afraid I'm gonna hit someone or someone's gonna hit me, and it's just gonna go right through that front radiator. So I'm planning on putting that 66 inch you know, box tubing right above the normal crush bumper or crush bar or whatever it's called bumper. And so that's my plan, is to make some kind of mounts and have it just sit right above it. So hopefully I have a little bit more protection. Alright, new plan. Dane just hooked me up with this piece of metal. I think it's from like some shelving or something like that. He used it for his wife's car's front bumper. So I'm using that for my front bumper, and that's actually gonna work better than what I was gonna use. And what I was gonna use, now I can use for my rear bumper, which is perfect because I don't have enough metal for front and rear. But now I do. So shout out to Dane. If you don't subscribe to him, you better go subscribe to him. But anyways, now I gotta go cut that front one.
Next level.
Bumper is fully welded on a place. Look how long that bead is. It's probably a 3-foot bead right there, but it's strong. It's I don't know, probably good enough, but I went ahead and made these braces right there. Anyways, they're gonna go from the frame rail to the top right here. So I'm gonna weld those on, and I'll put one on that side too. You see one's already over there, but it should make it super strong. Braces are solidly welded on. This thing is like really solid. It still has some give to it though. I don't want it to be too crazy. As you can see, this material is not that crazy thick or anything. It's also not that heavy, which is good. Next thing I'm gonna do is make a radiator guard. I'm making it out of this perforated metal that I got from Dane as well. I made a little template over there because it's windy. It flew off, but cut out a little section of that, and that's gonna go for my lower part of my radiator. So down there, that's where it's gonna go, because I have no protection down there. Up top I have good protection now, but I need that down below because I still need some airflow. So it is basically done now. So let's talk about some things that we did. Front bumper, look at that thing. Radiator guard done, painted the hood, hood pins, new front tires, this windshield, which is not a windshield, it's like a screen. Had to run all that weld on that. Spreader bar with the tear off plates, mounted this bride seat, mounted this NRG steering wheel. There's a skid plate on the gas tank, but you guys can't see, but you've seen in a video before. This fat rear bumper, it's totally gutted. All the glass has been removed. Doors are welded shut. We made a battery tray for this thing. We made an on-off for emergencies. Bunch of cool stuff's done to it. And yeah, only thing left to do really is like some last minute decoration. Like I have these flossy missile plates over here that we're gonna throw on. I also have some stickers that Dane made me that I wanted to throw on this thing, but other than that, this thing's ready for race day, which is tomorrow. So yeah, I took it up and down the driveway a couple times just to see how it worked, because I've never driven this thing really, just for like a half mile on the street at one time, but everything seemed to be okay. My only issue is no second gear, which you guys already know about. That really bums me out, but I'm gonna have to deal with it. I also picked up that helmet today. It's Snell approved, so I'm good to race. Man, I'm so stoked. I think that's where I'm going to call it for today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more car content. If you guys are in Southern California, head out to Paris Raceway tomorrow at, I think 7 o'clock is when the race starts, but gates open at 5, so get there at 5 and there'll be some good racing. I'll probably leave a link for it in the description. But yeah, come check out the race. It's going to be a good time. I think it's only like 10 bucks to get in. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. There's also figure eights and trailer racing and a few other kind of racing things that are going on. So you can come out and watch this thing hopefully win, which I highly doubt, but we'll hope for, right? First place, baby.